Dallas Stars signed Cory Perry for 1 year at $1.5 million. He had nothing but nice things to say about the Ducks during his press conference down there. I think he's still a class act. Be interesting to see how he gets under the skin of the Ducks when the Stars come to town, because he's a pesky guy that nobody likes to play against.
Yeah, you said class act, and I'm saying not on the ice.
I
don't think there's anybody in the NHL on an opposing team who thinks. And I'm sure there's some on his team who think that he's not very classy when he takes a stupid penalty, late in a game. So the Ducks did the right thing. He gave him a lot of good years, but his contract and his skill set had become a burden to them.
Yeah, he's gone downhill a lot.
Yeah, I mean, at the time when they signed Getzlaf, because both him and Getzlaf got the same deal, it was win-win. I mean, both those guys are playing at the peak of their careers, and Getzlaf kind of is still trending upward, and then Perry just the last 5 years has just gone free fall. And that's the one thing. I mean, he'll probably get his jersey retired at Honda Center, at the end of his career, but I was just sick and tired as a Duck fan watching the last, 5 minutes of the third period, him getting a stupid tripping call or a roughing call. It's just, it
felt like that all the time.
All the time. Yeah. I mean, it was either him or Richie. Every single, and we, of course, Ducks re-signed Richie, but, I think, his speed's gone. The Dallas Stars, I think, are still, with their acquisitions that they made in the offseason, getting Pavelski, I think, is a bigger deal than what people are putting into. But, I think that the Dallas team's probably going to fight. They'll probably make the playoffs. Right. But Perry, just I don't know what line you'd put him on. Probably third or fourth.
Yeah, I'd say third or fourth.
He's not a first or second guy anymore.
No. What are your thoughts about the Ducks hiring Darryl Sutter?
Oh, it's huge.
Or is it Sutter?
Sutter.
As an advisor to the coaching staff? I don't want him anywhere around my coaching staff if he wants to grind and slow the game down.
He can win, though.
That was definitely an element of the title teams, the cup teams with LA.
Yeah, not disputing.
But they didn't progress from there, right? No. There's only so much dump and chase and grind in front of the, and take up space in front of the net that you can do, especially when the rest of, your conference and your division is doing as far as speed.
Yeah.
But if his advice is what happened the year before he got fired, which is the front office says, play this young kid, and he goes, no, I'm not playing Kempe. No, I'm not playing those guys. I'm not playing Brodzinski. No, I'm not playing these guys. If that's his advice, the Ducks don't want any of that.
No.
They got rid of that with Carlisle.
The Ducks don't want any, but if they can compartmentalize it, right? And there's a certain element that he's going to advise on, a certain element of the game that he's going to advise on. But if he's got this overarching sort of umbrella advisor, I would steer clear of that. I don't think that's good. But if you want him to advise your guys how to grind and dump and chase and okay, that's fine for one element of the game. But you can't listen to him when he says don't play that young guy.
Yeah.
Don't play that young guy.
Yeah.
Especially Eakin's press conference. That's the one thing he was saying is we're going to be a speed team.
Yep.
And
he's got the players to do it.
And he's got the players to do it. And I think Sutter though is going to help. Just because I think, Eakins is, still relatively, young coach, and from going from the AHL to the NHL, it's going to speed up a little bit on him. But, that's the one thing that I am scared of that Vince said is, that was the whole years with, even a little bit of Boudreau was, these young guys are coming up and they weren't playing, or they would play, on a road trip and then they'd be back down to the minors. It's like, no, these young guys need to play and, get their experience now. So that's what's a little shaky with that hiring. But I mean, I kind of contradicting myself, but I like that he's going to be in the room. I just don't know. I just hope the input is not, basically he's running the team and Eakins is just the face.
Yeah, no. If he's in Eakins' ear about wanting to change the personality and the makeup of what they're doing, right? The strategy, no bueno. But again, he's a smart guy. He won 2 cups, and he was a good player, and I think there's a lot of knowledge there. And
he and Murray go back a long ways. They played together with the Blackhawks, I think. Bob Murray.
Bob Murray and Sutter, yeah.
But he must have thought about all this before he hired him? His philosophy and why Kings dumped him and how the game has changed? Why? I mean, I don't really understand the hire.
Maybe he came into that interview, a penitent man.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I would say that, as a Kings fan, looking at Ducks fans, I would just say be wary of that. But, again, there's a lot that he knows a lot about. But when push came to shove, he didn't want to play the young guys, and that's why the Kings couldn't develop. They didn't develop without him and had to change coaches and then had to fire that other coach because that other coach couldn't, Stevens couldn't get guys, the veterans, motivated. And now we know that that's the case, that these guys were fat and happy, and Stevens wasn't the guy to get them. And, he just wasn't the guy. He ended up somewhere, didn't he?
I
think he also ended up...
Yeah, somewhere. I'm not sure.
I can't remember where.
Do we know anything about... I think the NHL free agent is underway, but I haven't heard anything about Ducks or the Kings.
No, they're not doing anything. Nothing.
Signing anybody?
No.
Nothing.
Spending any money?
No, the Sharks signed Brzezinski.
Yeah.
From the Kings.
Yeah, I haven't.
But I haven't heard much.
No.
The